Okay, let's take a look at improper and mixed numbers. Remember, those improper fractions are where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. My brother loves these fractions. It's a larger fraction. Mixed number is a whole number and a fraction mixed together. That's where they got that name, mixed number. So again, more than one whole. Both of these are the larger numbers, but you can actually change an improper into a mixed number, and you can change a mixed number into an improper fraction. And we're going to take a look at that. Down here they have some pictures to show this. Their improper fraction is 7/3. So what they did was they decomposed this, and that was Q1, Q2, Q3 on IXL. It was also the first couple pages of your math worksheets, the paper pencil kind that I gave you, was all about decomposing or breaking a fraction down. And they took this 7/3 and broke it into 3/3, which is one whole, and you can see their picture there. And 3/3 again, because they had to create 7/3. So we know 3/3 plus 3/3 is 6/3. So you'll see three pieces. We know this is a whole and this is a whole. And then to make that 7/3, we need one more third. So we've got 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7. We know how to add those fractions. The denominator stays the same. But in the end, they have 2 whole and 1/3. So you could say 7/3 is equivalent, let me write this down, to 2 whole and 1/3. They decompose the 7/3 into 3/3, which is a whole. You could make 2 wholes, and you'd still have enough for 1/3, because 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And here's a picture of your 2 whole and your 1/3. That's how you take an improper fraction to a mixed number. You can also take a mixed number and create an improper fraction. And you'll see how they did 1 whole plus 1 whole plus 1/3. And we're going to work on that on the next couple of slides. So, improper fractions to mixed number. I'm going to go ahead and grab an improper fraction, 7/4. So to draw a picture of that, to kind of get an idea, I would need to cut my cake into 4 pieces, because that's my denominator. I'm going to need more than 4. I'm going to need more than 1 cake to make my 7 slices. I'm going to go ahead and shade in 7. This is just like the fraction cards we spent quite a few days working on. So there's 4 fourths, there's 5 fourths, 6 fourths, and 7 fourths. So just by looking at the picture, you can see 7 fourths is 1 whole, and here's that 1 whole, and the fraction that goes with it is 1, 2, 3 fourths. 3 fourths. So you can use a picture to help you make an improper into a mixed, but a really simple way is to start decomposing that. So one thing I can do is make 4 fourths out of that and 3 fourths. So if I decompose this into a whole, which is this one, and it would take 3 fourths more to make 7. So this is 1 whole, that's this piece, and 3 fourths. Let's try another one, improper to mix. Let's take 6/5. Okay. Again, this time I'm not even going to draw a picture. I'm just going to decompose it, because really that's a lot simpler than trying to draw a picture. If I want to take 1 whole out of there, I know a whole, the numerator and denominator are the same. We talked about that a little bit before our break here. But I also have more left over to make that 6/5, and I would have 1 more fifth, because 5/5 plus 1/5 is 6/5. So this, as a mixed number, would be, here's your 1 whole and your 1/5. 5/5 is the same as 1 whole and 1/5. So 6/5 is equivalent to 1 whole and 1/5. And I decomposed it. I didn't even draw a picture. We could draw a picture to do that as well. What if I had a mixed number and I wanted to switch it to an improper fraction? So let's say I have a mixed number like 2 and 1/3. how can I convert that into an improper fraction? Pretty simple. I'm going to show you with pictures first, and I'm also going to decompose that mixed number. So first off, 2 whole pizzas. We'll get pizza going here. And 1/3 of a pizza. I'm going to draw my 1/3. I've got to cut my pizza into 3 slices because that's the denominator. Because it's the denominator, I'm going to cut all my pizzas into 3 slices. Trying to make them equal here. And I'm going to eat or have shade in 2 whole pizzas. So I'm going to shade in this whole pizza. There's 1 whole. There's 2 whole pizzas. And here's 1/3. So here I have my 2 whole and my 1/3. Well, to switch that over into a improper fraction, my denominator is going to stay thirds because that's what I cut the pizzas in. But all I have to do is count the slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 7/3. So there I did it with the picture, but I'm also going to show you how I can decompose that mixed number. I know 1 whole is 3/3. I know another whole is 3/3. And then I know there's one more fraction, 1/3. So here's 1 whole, 2 whole right here. And here's that other, the part of the mixed number, the fraction part. And really all I need to do is add those together. And adding fractions, you're going to see is super simple. The denominator stays the same. You do 3 plus 3 plus 1, which happens to equal 7. So you can decompose your mixed number into pieces to find the improper, or you can do a picture. Personally, I think the decomposing is the quicker, easier way. Let's try one more together. Let's try 4 2/5. And let's change that into an improper fraction. First thing I'm going to do is decompose 4 whole. If my denominator is fifths, then to make a whole, that would be 5/5. And I'm going to have to do that 4 times because there's 4 of them. And here's number 4. And they're all 5/5. There's 1 whole, 1 whole, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 whole right here. I also have to add on my 2/5, and that's the fraction I had to make this a mixed number, and then simply just add all those together. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 2. The answer would be 22/5, and the denominator staying the same. So decompose that whole number and make that improper fraction.